Guys, it's Matt from EveryCloud Technologies. Today we're going to be setting up a customer under our partner account, and we're going to be having a look at the control panel overview. So first of all, we're on our website everycloudtech.com. We go over to the logins button, partner area. Now the system should have already generated you a username and password. If you hadn't had any problems with that, haven't received it, please give us a call or contact support at everycloudtech.com, and we will resolve that issue for you. In this instance, I'm going to be logging in as a demo reseller. We click the login button and we will automatically log into the partner area. Now the partner area is a really important place for you. Not only can you get video guides, get direct access into the knowledge base, you can see how our renewals process work. You can also download marketing material, but the most important are the status updates. Now if you're following us on Twitter, you can get live status updates at EveryCloud if you don't have a Twitter account, you can log straight into the partner area and see these live updates as they happen. This could be anything from new virus alerts to give you an indication of what's going on in the back end. If there's a potential issue, for example, there's a problem with your customer spam reports, check the partner area, check those status updates. It may already be a known problem and we're already working on a fix for it. Anyway, we're going to be looking at provision new customer. We click provision new customer. Now it's asking us for our customer's details. In this instance, we'll just use a random domain. Now, number of users. We only charge for physical employees within the business. Alias domains and alias email addresses are all free of charge. So you may have an end user customer with 20 mailboxes, but they only have 10 employees. The number we put in here is 10. So we're not charging for your info at, sales at type email addresses. Now it's asking us here for an admin password. There's two reasons for this. The first reason is that you can give this password to an on-site admin to manage the global black and white list of the domain. So for example, you may have an IT guy on site, a guy or gal on site, and you may wish to give them this password or email address, and the system will automatically generate the username and password details for that on-site admin. In this instance, we're just going to put test at test.com and we'll put in a dummy password too. Here we go. So now you have the ability to allow the customer to go straight to a paid account, or we can activate the 30-day free trial. It's entirely up to you. We offer, if your customer doesn't have their own mail server, we do offer POP/IMAP mailboxes free of charge included in the filtering. So if your end user customer has their own domain and they're using their ISP's mailboxes, one-on-one, GoDaddy, something like that, then you can use ours free of charge included in the filtering. In this instance, we'll set this customer up that it's a server. Hit the next button. It's asking us for the IP address of the mail server. We can put multiple IP addresses into these boxes if you have them. If not, just fill out the one. Outgoing relay. Do you want to use us for outbound traffic? There is a number of advantages of using us for outbound traffic. The first advantage is it's completely free of charge. The second advantage is in the control panel, when we look in the workspace logs, which we're going to come to shortly, you'll be able to see all inbound and outbound email, and you also have full tracking of that email as well. Thirdly, we're also monitoring for outbound spam and viruses, malware. So if you were hacked and or you had some malware on site and that was sending out spam, we would block that from getting into the internet and we would stop you getting blacklisted. Okay, we also have a fourth level of protection called bounce management. In the event that your email address or your customer's email address was faked or spoofed by a spammer, what we would do is that spammer sent out 1 million emails into the internet, we would stop those the backscatter, out of office, NDRs coming back and swamping their mail server. So really quite important for us to take that outbound traffic. So this is the IP address of the outbound server. If you're relaying out through multiple IP addresses, you can put those in here. Now, we create the users within our system, so you don't have to notify us with a list of usernames or email addresses. Our system will automatically create the users. Now, we can do that with, we call this the relay check or the recipient address check. 99% of our customers use SMTP. Now, what that means is that when we deliver an email to the mail server, or when we deliver 2 clean emails within a 24-hour period and the mail server accepts those emails, we automatically create a user. That's why it's really important that we know the number of licenses, so that we can create, if you've got 10 users and we've got 20, 21, 22 mailboxes, our system will automatically create those. So you don't have to be contacted by the user every time they want to add a mailbox. So SMTP relay check, 99% of people will use that. Alternatively, we can do an LDAP sync, and I'll show you, once you tick this LDAP box, I'll show you where that is to fill in into the control panel. We have a couple of other upselling opportunities once you have the customer's traffic on board, once they've changed the MX records to us. The first is email archiving. We can archive for any duration, anything up to 30 years. But if you do have some time-sensitive documents, so for example, credit card information, personal information that needs to be deleted after a specific duration of time, then you can delete that, say, after 5 years. Email continuity. This is our disaster recovery product. This is an excellent product in the event that your customer's mail server is unavailable. We will route all new clean traffic to either webmail, POP IMAP accounts. Your customer can then restore from a true 90-day rolling archive the previous, or up to the previous 90 days worth of historical traffic. That restored traffic will go into the webmail or the POP IMAP accounts. Your staff or your user's staff can continue working during the server outage, giving you the time to go and resolve the problem. Once the mail server's back up online, emails will automatically be sent from the webmail POP IMAP accounts back to the mail server, including any emails that were sent during the server outage. We click the Provision Customer button. This now is actually provisioning the customer within the control panel. We're going to go into the control panel in a second once that's been done. So now we've got the customer successfully provisioned. A couple of advantages of using our website to provision the customer over the control panel. You can do this from a mobile phone, tablet. You can create customers in any HTML5 environment, so no problem at all with that. The other advantage is what we're doing is we're building out a CRM system for you so that you can see all of your customers, the expiry dates, the renewal periods, everything that you need to have to manage your end users will all be under your own partner account. So this is going to really help you massively with the renewals process. Okay, we've given you some links here to some popular ISPs in terms of being able to change the MX records for the customer. Now, before we do that, very, very important, before we do anything here, we need to check with the firewall tester. Okay, now you've been, once you've activated that customer, you would also have been sent details for the firewall tester, including our IP ranges. You can also find those from the knowledge base, directly from the link here. All of the essential setup documentation will either be emailed out to you or you have access to it through the control panel here. Okay, so we've successfully set up a customer in the control panel. Let's flick over to the control panel now. We'll log into our demo reseller account and we'll take a look at the customer that we've just provisioned. So we've logged into the control panel. The first tab that we come to is called the Workspace tab. This is where we'll see all of our customers' inbound and outbound logs. Really, really great, really simple and easy to look at those logs. But what we're going to do is look at some of the management features that we have before we look at the Workspace. So we click the Management tab. We can see here, Demo Reseller 57. We click the arrow at the side there and we can see all of the customers under our account. Now we recently set up a customer, mattb.net. We can see that here and we can go and have a look at all of the information that we set up originally. So the API created the information that we needed or inserted those into the relevant fields, the IP addresses for the inbound and also the IP address for the outbound. Now one thing that the API hasn't done, we do this particularly for some of our customers, it hasn't activated the info mail filter. Now the info mail filter is an incredibly powerful tool for stopping newsletter spam. It is an additional layer of spam protection. We highly recommend that you activate the info mail filter, but we do allow users to log into their own control panel and switch the info mail filter on or off. Some marketing departments like to receive newsletters, but this will stop, the info mail filter will stop any emails that are guised as newsletter or newsletters. Now obviously these newsletters can be released from the daily digest or the spam report, and that's what we need to activate next. Next thing that we need to do is set the spam report for the customer, okay, or end user. We tick the spam report box here. We select the spam report from the drop down menu. Now the reason it's asking us to select a spam report template is we will white label this product under your own brand. Alternatively, you can put your own marketing messages into the control panel, and I will show you that in another video how you can do that. But certainly white labeling, own brand labeling, private labeling, we will do all of that for you, no problem at all. And you can also add your own spam report templates, put maybe your logos in. The open rates are incredibly good on the spam reports, as you can imagine. So some of our marketing departments of some of our IT partners use this to advertise some of their additional products and services. Well, you simply select the days of the week that we want the spam report to arrive. Typically our morning, afternoon and early evening. Hit the save button. The system will tell you that the spam reports have been successfully stored. We have some other additional features. These are not something that you need to look at or touch on a daily basis, but should you wish to enhance the service even further for your customer, you have the ability to do that here. We have a content filter. This is where you can define both an inbound and outbound policy. So for example, you've got a telesales team. They shouldn't be receiving any particular files and certainly shouldn't be sending any files. So data protection, we can say that they can only receive a particular file type, and we can forbid MP3, MP4 files. For outbound and for data protection, then what we can do is forbid them for sending database files or XLS spreadsheets, so making sure that you're keeping all of the necessary data within the organization. We also have a compliance filter, an incredibly powerful tool for the manipulation of both inbound and outbound email. Now we have, based upon either the email body, content contained within the body of the email, content contained within the header of the email, or in this advanced view, we can do the advanced view from to IP address, host name, the subject, the attachment type or the attachment size. We can choose to do the following. We can completely reject the message. It's rejected in cloud level, doesn't even reach a customer's mail server. You may, for example, have a rogue employee sending abusive emails to senior management. simply use the criteria at the top here, and we can completely reject his or her emails. They'll never be seen internally. Redirect the email to a different email address, reroute it to a different IP address. Really, really useful if you've got remote sites or different locations and you want to reroute emails to those using our service rather than taking it to your own exchange. Tag as clean spam virus so it appears in the spam report, or add a BCC. So you may have a managing director that wants to be copied in on every email that contains the word sales order or purchase order. This also takes regular expressions, so you can build some really, really powerful rules, stopping credit card numbers being sent outbound, so really locking down data within your organization. Encryption. If your customer's communication partner will accept, or the end user's communication partner will accept TLS encryption, we will deliver the email fully encrypted using TLS completely free of charge. Okay? If you need to define an encryption policy, TLS, forced TLS, SMIME, PGP, you can do that from the control panel. There is an additional charge for the certificates and licenses for that, but one of the account managers will give you that information if it's more, of use to you. A mail footer, both plain text and HTML mail footers can be put into the control panel here. You can put images, disclaimers, whatever you want. I know a lot of the exchanges have this feature anyway, but we will provide that for you free of charge should you wish to use it. Okay, continuity service. We touched on this slightly earlier in a previous video for the setup of a customer, but continuity service, it's a disaster recovery product. It's a true 90-day rolling archive of your end user's historical traffic. We will hold that in the cloud for your customer. In the event that their mail server is unavailable, we will route all clean traffic to either webmail, POP, IMAP accounts. The users will log into their control panel. If you've done an LDAP sync, they log into their webmail or mailboxes. If you've done an LDAP sync, that will be their Active Directory username and passwords. You can log into the webmail. You can continue working. They can restore from the archive the previous 90 days worth of historical traffic. They can continue working. Once the mail server's back up online, then all email will be sent back to the mail server, so you have a record of it on the mail server, including here, if we tick this box, any mails that were sent from either the webmail, POP, IMAP accounts during the server outage. So you do have full log of everything inbound and outbound while the server was offline. Really, really useful for our partners, not just for the fact of the the continuity service or the disaster recovery product itself. So many partners that I've talked to over the years now that have had phone calls on public holidays, the Friday night where the mail server's gone down and they're running around like a headless chicken trying to get that resolved. This really does take the pressure off of the partner in fixing the initial problem, because the customer still has the ability to continue working. We also have archiving. We touched on this slightly earlier before. All you simply need to do is, we set this up actually earlier on, that we can already see that archiving was already activated. We can change the year. Now, we set this up initially for 10 years, but if we wanted to set this up for 5 years, so for example, we've got personal data, credit card information that needs to be deleted after a specific period of time, we can change that from the control panel here. The archiving does have full audit access, so you can allow an auditor to audit everything in the archive. They can release emails that were sent to a particular mailbox or from a mailbox, and those can be released into the auditor's mailbox for further investigation. So if you've got a rogue, or your end user's got a rogue employee and they were sending company secrets out, you could allow an auditor access to that. It does take two people to authorize two people within the company to authorize auditing access. We call that the 4I principle, to give an additional layer of security to the email archive. Once that auditor has access, they can be given access from a specific date range. So emails from a specific date range. So if we only want to give them access to a 1 week period, and we can give them access for a specific duration, so they can only have access for, say, 24 hours. All of that can be provisioned from within the Audit Access tab. Okay, so we've pretty much covered everything within the control panel. As I said, this really is a set and forget type service, but these are only needed if you want to go in and further enhance the service with some of the additional features that we provide free of charge. So let's have a look at that workspace. As I said to you before, this is the first tab that we come to. All of your customers will be available from the drop-down menu. We have one test domain here. Let's have a look at this. Excuse me. So we have some predefined date templates on the left-hand side here. So for example, if I want to look at all the traffic for the month of May, we simply select May, and the system will now show me all of the traffic for this particular domain. We're currently on the inbound view, but we can change this to outgoing or both. Let's have a look at this view now. The from, to, and subject fields are all searchable using wildcards. So for example, I've had a call, an end user's desperately looking for an email. They know it was sent from info, but they don't have any more details. Not particularly helpful, but simply put info into the system, hit enter. The system's now searching on every single email address that contains info or the partial word of info. We can see these here. Now I know that this user was Emma, so I can double click on Emma's name. The system will now filter just on Emma's email addresses. We could do even further here if we wanted to. We can say new, hit enter, and we've found even further now. Now I can see here that these emails are clean. That means that they've actually been delivered, and if the customer doesn't have archiving or continuity services, these emails are not on our network. But let's have a look. We'll just reset that that field there. We'll say it was the email here that was stopped as info mail from PetMeds. We tick the box here. We go to user options. We go to either deliver email or whitelist and deliver. In this instance, we're going to deliver the email. We click perform action, and we'll get a small comfort message here just to say that that email has been delivered to the recipient's mailbox. So that email has now been delivered. The status of it has changed from info mail, and it will also show in the control panel as clean shortly. Now I keep saying that we can see emails. If we go over to the preview button on a clean message, clean emails are not stored. What we do have is the header and SMTP information. Now if we hold the cursor over the word delivered, this is telling us the status of the email. If it was to show deferred or no line, it means that the email is still on our network. Deferred means that we're trying to attempt to deliver emails to the mail server, but the mail server's offline. And if the customer has or end user has continuity service, then we would see those emails being shown in the continuity server. Okay, one of the great things is we can also have this view for outgoing as well. Let me just change this search criteria because we don't want the same search criteria. We'll change the view to outgoing. We can see here delivered. So for example, this SMTP message here is coming back from the recipient's mail server. So basically when a customer has, I'll give you an example. Somebody's come to me and said, I sent an email to Fred in company Y at the end of the road, but they say that they haven't received it. You can go into the control panel, you can find the particular email. If it's showing delivered, hover the cursor over it. We can see not only is it delivered, but we've also got the message ID coming back from the recipient's mail server. So we have proof that that email was accepted by the recipient's mail server, and they should be able to investigate and find that internally. So going back to the control panel again, once we're in here, we not only can we manage the spam, virus, content, and info mails, and all of those, if they've been stopped for any of those particular criteria, are held on our network for 90 days. Okay, so you have 90 days to be able to release that. After 90 days, we start to then delete them. But certainly, I think that's one of the longest in the industry currently. We can also manage not only the user's black and white list like we did just then, but we can also manage the admin black and white list. So this is the black and white list for the entire domain. So for example, if we want to whitelist or blacklist a particular email for the entire domain, let's do this one here. We go admin options, blacklist, perform action, and that will now blacklist that for all users in this particular domain. Okay, one other thing to look at, the statistics tab, really useful tool for when a customer's coming to the end of their 30-day evaluation. Not only does the statistics tab show us the amount of spam that they've had, but also the amount of rejected emails that were rejected at the boundary. So for example, you can see here with this particular